morning, good afternoon, good evening, hello creepy friends, this is me back to my best. I did this once and it sucked, so I got rid of it, and now we're reshooting it with a much better lighting via natural window. It is Halloween! Celebrate Halloween! I love Halloween, but as I said on the Taylor Mumson final makeup video, please remember it is about remembering the dead as its core. It is actually quite a Christian thing, and also quite Catholic, and also quite pagan. Although Christians are encouraged not to be a part of it, but it was actually something to do with them because I was looking this stuff up last night. Anyway, we are here because Thunderbirds Our Go has returned to our screens on Halloween Day. It's like the best Halloween gift ever. And it is back with a bang. I was very, very happy with the episode, so let's go right into it and discuss it. The episode was called Falling Skies, and it was quite an intelligent little episode. There was a hotel put up in the middle of outer space that was actually invented by Brains, who's not looking very confident about it, although quite proud of it. He's doing that "aw shucks" type thing that we all know and love. Penelope and Parker have gone up to kind of, I'm going to say, vet the hotel out, and also kind of calm people down, because there's a journalist comes up to her and says, "Oh, have you heard the rumours that it's unsafe?" And of course they're saying unsafe because it's an episode of International Rescue, so within half a minute, of course, bang! There's smoke coming from the hotel and people start losing the force of gravity and everybody's hurtling out of control. Cue intro. Brains has a hard time trying to think with his heart via his head. His head is sort of telling him all mathematical equations and scientific facts, when in reality his heart is saying to him, "I think someone's tampered with something here because it should be indestructible. Oh my god, it's Captain Scarlet in a hotel full." To the outside, it looks like there's been some kind of blast or explosion inside, but the reality is Brains knows different. So after a quick talk between everybody, Kayo decides, since there could be a saboteur on board and therefore danger, she's going to go up in space with Scott and Alan. Scott is going to assess what's going on. Alan is obviously his cabbie in a way. Virgil, meanwhile, is going to pick up Gordon from doing some sort of 2-week scuba diving mission somewhere. And they are going to sit in the ocean and wait in case the escape pods come down, because then people are going to need a lift back home. Just when Scott thinks he's fixed the issue, bang, another hole comes out, and that sends everyone screaming again, and Penny's trying to calm everybody down but isn't going too well. I don't think people do calm down very well in these situations, do they? They just freak out. I think it's the natural assumption of people, danger, freak out. But then I've never really been in an incredibly dangerous situation, apart from when I was bitten by a dog when I was 5 on a beach. And also when I nearly lost a foot in Clacton Pier many years ago. That wasn't nice. I'll tell you about that in a Tin Time blog. So of course, naturally now, the important thing is to get everybody off board the ship, but they can't, because then the escape pods launch themselves away, and that leaves a problem. Scott has Alan be essentially a bit of a cargo freighter plane and board all the people onto his craft to take them down and meet Virgil. Scott jumps back in Thunderbird 3 with Alan, but Kayo is still aboard, and she has Scott's little craft to take her back, but she doesn't get back aboard Thunderbird 3, which is worrying Alan. But it's nice that Scott has this confidence of going, she's going to be fine, don't worry about it. Alan don't seem that confident in her. But then he wows her, so he wouldn't. He's just worried about her and being the hero. She is walking through the hotel trying to find the issue, but she is being stalked by somebody. She does find something that looks like a bomb, throws it out, but then there's a hole and she nearly gets sucked into outer space, but she doesn't. Then she gives chase to the saboteur, and of course it's revealed. Who is it, everyone, after 3? It's the Hood! We knew it. It was a bit blooming obvious. It's always a bit obvious when it's the Hood, but we have had our suspicions of saboteur by the Hood in other episodes and have actually been wrong. So after another showdown between the Hood and Kayo, where she's kind of kicking his ass a little bit, there's another hint towards this thing that she's supposed to have done. I'm assuming to Carano, her dad, and also to Jeff Tracy. He gets into an escape pod and flies away and leaves her aboard with another bomb type thing. And the hotel is essentially hurtling down to Earth and is going to explode and cause catastrophe. And while still aboard, Brains is talking to Kayo and essentially has her unbuild the hotel inside before it can hurtle down and explode on these 2 poor little campers that are sitting down here. Meanwhile, she has to run like hell back through the hotel and back into the little craft that Scott had and get off before it unbuilds itself and before anybody dies. But nobody dies. She's safe, they're safe, everybody's safe, all the passengers are off, and happy days. And we sent back to the lovely little land of international rescue where Kayo reveals, actually, you can't actually control the escape pods from inside. And she actually sent the escape pod up into outer space, which leaves the last shot as the Hood angrily cursing her whilst flying through outer space. And we know that thankfully the Hood has been named as the villain and Brains isn't going to take any blame. We're happy about that. All ends well and a great episode to come back to because everybody's involved, and we all know I love it when everybody's involved in an episode. It's the best episode ever when everybody's involved. That makes me so happy when everybody's involved. Yay. I think if it had just been a one brother, two brother episode, I kind of would have gone, oh, they could have done something a bit more exciting, but I didn't know where to look in this episode. Everything was going on, and I always take notes so I can relay them back to you guys. And I was sitting there going, but, and I'm missing, there's so much going on there, it's going to explode. And I loved it. I loved every second of that. I kind of like the way Scott is controlling in Jeff's place. The only time we've seen somebody other than Jeff take control was Scott in the episode where Jeff goes on holiday and can't relax because he's worried about everything and Scott makes bad decisions. In this version of it, and I've said it before, Scott is kind of playing the dad, along with Grandma Tracy being whatever Grandma Tracy is in this series. I don't like Grandma Tracy in this series, I'm really sorry. That blooming onesie annoys me, you know that. It's cool to see him take control, and I like his ideas, and I like the different dynamic that brings. And yes, I know I've said that before, but I'm saying it again because I still feel the same way. And I have a lot of respect for Ellen Page, actually. I think she's cute, but also awesomely cool, and the same height as myself, so small people rule. I did like Kayo as well, standing up to the Hood and being able to hold her own. There weren't that many scenes of uncle and niece in the original, apart from the one that distinctly stands out to me, which is where he hypnotises Tintin and buries Brains neck deep in the sand, which is one of the vintage episodes I wanted to do with you guys but never did. So we're going to roll that over to next year. There will be no more vintage reviews this year because obviously now we have these once a week to do instead. So do forgive me for that, but as I said before, we will only do vintage ones when this isn't running. There's no sense in doing both. And don't forget, with the new episodes, the new old episodes coming out, I think they're doing direct to DVD actually. So if they did some sort of bumper special box set, fine. We'll have to review those one at a time. And I can't wait to do that with you guys because I know we're all sitting there like this, like excited little children waiting for those. It's cool to see Kayo hold her own. I mean, she did do that a lot in the original, but she does it more so in this and with a lot more confidence. And I don't mind that, although I know I say Tintin a lot when I talk about her, but it's not my Tintin. And I do have a hard time remembering that that is Tintin, if you understand what I mean. I've kind of accepted all the other brothers. I do have a kind of a hard time with Tintin. I don't know why. I love the comedy skit between Virgil and Gordon. That was quite fun, I thought, with him saying, oh, you know, Penny's coming aboard. Oh, I'm going to take a shower because apparently he has 2 weeks worth of stench about him. Typical boy. And then Virgil decides, I'm going to turn the shower off to pee him off. That was kind of fun. I think the kids will find that funny, but that kind of thing is just for us adults because they know that we're watching too. I like the kind of hint at romance between Gordon and Penny because that's a totally new feature. And I love that. And it's fun to see, but I get the feeling there will be some long-term fans watching that going, I don't like that. All in all, great first episode back. I'm a happy camper and I can't wait for next week. I have no idea what next week's one's going to be about, but I can tell you we will be back in our proper set, if you like, not using the camera on my phone. And then we struggled with lighting downstairs. It wasn't good, so then I've had to come back up here. But I get to talk to you guys again, so why is that a bad thing, you know? Who's excited for Thunderbirds 1965 though? The only kind of, I'm going to say, fault I have with it is that I don't want the excitement of that replacing the excitement of this, because then you're going to get the comparisons and people are going to go, oh, well, that's crap compared to that. You know, Sanjeev Baksar is his own puppet in this. I can't wait for this. I'm really excited, but I'm also still equally excited to see where this goes. I just want to know what Kayo did, man. Someone tell me, please. As usual, do like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. I would love some new friends. We have 153 friends here. And I will be back for more Thunderbird stuff, lots of stuff. And we have the whole Halloween makeup coming today or next week at some point, because none of you know what I'm doing, but I'm going to put a gentle hint right here. And I will see everybody again for more videos, more Thunderbirds. Bye, everyone.